Hello everyone and welcome to How Do I Make More Tonics? And other things that you should know about episode 2. Revenant has just launched and today I'm going to be going over what happened and how it all works and some advice for you getting started, in addition to some of my thoughts. First up, there was a lot of confusion about what is and is not playable in episode 2 as of the launch. All of Act 1 is playable. Act 2 is like 40 days from now, and Act 3 is another 40 days after the start of Act 2. Act 1 is pretty brief. I was able to get it all done in about 90 minutes or so, and that was with me going real slow. My friends took an hour. Some people went even faster than that. It might take you longer or shorter depending on how quickly you're going to speed through it. I'm not going to spoil too much of the story here in case you haven't gotten to play it yet, but you might see some gameplay that has some of those things in it, so you're warned. However, I will talk about the core features of Act 1. First up, the activity in Act 1 is, yes, Onslaught. There are 3 new maps: Widow's Court, Europa, Eventide Ruins, and whatever the old Tangle Shore Gambit map is called, Kells something. Onslaught itself has been updated as well. Tripwires are a bit stronger, and there are new defensive tools like the airstrike and the turret. The airstrike is pretty fun. There is a 10-wave normal mode option, a 50-wave normal mode, and a 50-wave expert mode. Don't be too scared of the normal mode being 2030. I promise it's gonna feel like a normal mode activity. Expert mode has been completed by people already on day 1, but it's obviously not gonna be the easiest thing in the world though. Onslaught is also dropping double perk masterworked weapons randomly in the higher waves. Think the shiny weapons from Into the Light, minus the cosmetic part. So close, Bungie. So close. Give me that cosmetic part as well, and we're chilling. Act 2's activity has sort of been leaked in that Bungie reveals the name of it in-game when doing stuff with tonics, which is another core feature of the episode, which we'll talk about in a second, called Tomb of Elders, which people are anticipating to be some sort of Prison of Elders spin-off, or at least I am anyway. We'll find out more about this probably sometime in between Act 1 and Act 2 launch, I imagine. Act 3 is going to have an exotic mission, but I think we knew that already. This brings us to tonics. This is the currency-based thing that we'll be interacting with for episode 2. Tonics are buffs that you can place on yourself, and they do a wide range of things, from giving you gameplay bonuses to dropping increased or types of loot after running activities. I say a wide range of things, those are the 2 things that they mainly do. There are 9 different types of materials to collect with escalating rarities. Reclaimed Vitality is the most common and drops from killing stuff and from picking up destination materials. More on that in a moment. Then you have 2 green quality powders, one for gameplay tonics and one for rewards, earned through playing episode 2 Revenant stuff. Then you have 4 rare blue quality flakes, one for gameplay, one for rewards, and the other 2 aren't possible to earn yet, so we'll figure that out soon. Also through Revenant activities. Then you have 2 purple quality nuggets for the highest tier of tonics from, you guessed it, higher difficulty Revenant activities. Reclaimed Vitality is earned through killing and through destination materials. When it comes to the killing part, it is done in the form of the Ether Siphon buff that you will randomly get during gameplay. Every so often, I'm not sure if it's kills or time-based, it feels like kills-based, you're going to get the Ether Siphon buff, which enables you to get this vitality from enemy kills. Playing through something like Onslaught should give a healthy amount of vitality without really needing to try. However, in trying to directly farm this material, I really noticed the internal cooldown of the effect, and it can be pretty annoying outside of an environment like Onslaught or Shuro Chi if you are by yourself. I tried going into a Lost Sector, and I didn't proc the Ether Siphon buff a single time, a Dreaming City Lost Sector. Running Onslaught gave quite a lot, so I never really felt like I needed to farm it, and you probably won't need to farm it, but I just still wanted to put that information out there in case people are going crazy trying to figure out why they're not getting any reclaimed vitality from killing enemies in the game. The number one question I got on day one was, how do I unlock more tonics? You unlock tonics by making tonics. For example, when you craft a green tonic 5 times, you will unlock the blue tonic version. When you make the blue tonic 4 times, you will unlock the purple tonic version. These advanced tonics last longer, increasing by 20 minutes for each upgrade, but cost more materials as a result. To unlock the tonic of Shadestalker armor, you will need to create more tonics of worldly gear, the green quality one. To unlock the tonic of worldly weaponry and armor, the blue quality ones, keep crafting the green quality version as well. Shadestalker armor will be the final blue tonic you see from that green version. To unlock the purple versions of most, if not all of these, continue to craft the blue versions. Note that you have a chance of creating a higher quality tonic when crafting, so a green can become a blue can become a purple, and a purple into an exotic. There are exotic tonics. These give you a buff that enables the looting of exotic level materials. I had a viewer come in and say that they popped a 60-minute exotic tonic and were able to get 2 Ascendant alloy from it during an Onslaught run. You can find your tonic capsule in your inventory menu. You want to get more tonics unlocked so that you can do minor and major fieldwork at Ido. Minor fieldwork completions lead to access to major fieldwork, which unlock bonuses that enable you to get materials faster or in different ways, or just give you other kinds of bonuses. In Act 1, there are 5 major fieldworks, all with their own unique bonuses, although the actual mission of the major fieldworks is just kill 15 enemies. Bit underwhelming there. As for which order to unlock them, since the game doesn't tell you what these bonuses do before you unlock them, I personally would get Extraordinary Tonics probably last or close to last, since it doesn't help you get materials, but rather gives you a better chance at making a higher quality tonic. Blood Drive is where you will sometimes get uncommon materials from Ether Siphon kills. If you plan on running a lot of Onslaught or high density activities, this one's pretty good. Otherwise, I think it's pretty bad because of the issues I talked about with Ether Siphon. Performance bonus gives you more rep and reagents when doing bonus objectives in Onslaught Salvation, aka this episode's Onslaught. If bounties are more your thing, Bounty Harvester gives you materials on Bounty Turn-In, and Revenant Recycler is where you get materials from dismantling Revenant weapons. Remember, no crafted weapons this episode, so be sure to check those rolls, although Bungie did give out some pretty good rolls during Act 1 from just doing the story content. The gameplay tonics also give boosts to artifact perks, but you can only have 1 of each tonic active at a time. I haven't seen anything that says you can't use them basically wherever you want, so like go nuts, I suppose. Next, let's talk about some new things that came with the patch or just some other information that I think you should know. Your Ghost in the Pale Heart now has the ability to attune to 1 perk on an exotic class item. Just 1. This means that you should hopefully see the perk you selected much more often, making the odds to get the item you want hopefully more of a 1 in 8 than a 1 in 64. Better than nothing, that's for sure. Next is the ability to bring up your vault basically anywhere now. Check in your character menu and look at the bottom of your screen. You should have the ability to toggle whether or not you're looking at your current gear inventory or your vault's inventory. You can store and pull things from anywhere in the game now. Next are the new exotics. Yes, you will have to re-level Rahul to rank 17 in order to purchase the new exotics from him. If you had a bunch of exotic engrams, shards, and glimmer lying around, this probably wasn't too bad. But for the rest of you out there, this might be a little while. I'm not really too sure how much I like this. You know, locking some of the more exciting parts of a new content drop behind a big reputation wall like this. I expect some kind of a response from Bungie on how they like this, as I'm imagining there's maybe not a great response to this acquisition method at this point. Pathfinder has now been split into 3 paths, 1 for Vanguard and 2 for the other things that I know you're not going to do. Bungie even gives you a little freebie node to unlock to get you rolling even faster. Pathfinder is going back to mattering a little bit thanks to the increased level cap. Speaking of which, I know it's been a minute since we've had to actually level, especially in the middle of an episode/season, but it works the same way as it always has. If you're at the pinnacle cap, do activities that give pinnacle gear. If you're not at the pinnacle cap, then you can do powerfuls or pinnacles. I've heard reports of certain activities not giving pinnacle rewards though, like Starcrossed saying that it does, but it's not actually doing it. Generally speaking, try to stick to things like the newest raid, the new dungeon coming out on Friday, which does require the Final Shape Dungeon Pass, Nightfalls, and other endgame activities. Finally, Garden of Salvation weapons are now craftable, and they have updated perk rolls. I'll have a video going over what I think the god rolls of those weapons are as soon as I can make it. Don't forget to go to Hawthorne to pick up the Garden Crafted Weapon quest first. It's once per week per account. Garden also has its own memento similar to that of Salvation's Edge, except this one actually works. You earn it from having no hard wipes in a run of Garden, and I think it looks pretty cool. Otherwise, that is about it for Act 1, at least as far as I know. In terms of how I am feeling about it after just one day, it is currently more Destiny out of 10. And that is how I am guessing I will feel at the end of this episode as well. Act 1 story felt very brief. Again, clocking in at 90 minutes for me, going at a pretty slow pace. I know people who are doing it in under an hour. I was anticipating a bit more to be happening, but I'm guessing that Bungie probably ripped out some of the stuff that lengthens out this content, like needing to run multiple onslaughts or something like that. They cut a bunch of the filler. There is some discussion of there being maybe something more coming after the dungeon launches, although I don't have anything concrete on any of that happening at all. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's not like nothing happened in Act 1, or I felt like nothing happened. It just really felt like it flew by much faster than I was anticipating. Now, again, this is mainly the story stuff, the gameplay stuff like unlocking tonics and farming weapons. That's going to take up the bulk of your time in Act 1. I personally don't mind that Onslaught is back. I like Onslaught as an activity and the adjustments made to it, but if you are just done with Onslaught, you might want to wait until Act 2 and whatever this Prison of Elders spin-off is going to be. Onslaught is as you remember from Into the Light. Giant waves of enemies, bosses on waves 6 and 10 in a set, bonus objectives, all of it. I've only done a normal 50 wave run, but I know people were clearing it on Expert on the first day with a little bit more of a refined fireteam setup. If you liked Onslaught then, back in Into the Light, I don't see why you wouldn't like it now, especially with the updates. My concern about the tonics was that it was going to feel like something from Season of the Witch, like the deck of cards where they offer some bonuses, but I just don't really care at all about them because I'm already stomping everything into the ground, and what's 5% more power ammo really gonna do for me? Right now, I'm kind of leaning that way again outside of Onslaught. The purple tonics lasting an hour is perfect for something like a Wave 50 Onslaught since they basically take an hour. But if I end up getting access to all of the tonics and then just completely ignoring them, it wouldn't shock me at all. Again, you can only have one gameplay tonic active at a time. All that being said, though, I appreciate that these are bonuses that actually feel like they will have a decent impact on my gameplay, or at the very least my build crafting experience, both the actual effect of the tonic and the boosted artifact bonus. In terms of stasis related things, I haven't really done too much build crafting on day one. Day one for me was mainly about locking down what's going on with the episode. I'm going to be saving that for the rest of the week and any other buildcraft content that I'm going to be making, starting with the new Hunter exotic, since I didn't get to mess around with it too much, and I've been hearing very good things. Although, that being said, the Hunter exotic is currently half bugged. Let me pull this up. It is half bugged where it is not consistently producing the spread of withering blades when defeating a frozen combatant. It works normally when shattering a stasis crystal. So the fix coming for that, according to Bungie Help, is an end of October hotfix. So if you're wondering why the helmet is not working properly, it's because it's not working properly. So you're not crazy. Same thing with the weapons from this episode. Not too much playing with them just yet. But again, Bungie was giving out some very close god rolls of some of these weapons just for doing story stuff. So if you're good with that, then you're already going to have like a decent kit without having to grind too much. I liken the rolls to that of maybe the ritual weapon, if not slightly better. Like, they're rolls that work, but if you really wanted to grind for better, you could. But some of the rolls are better than a ritual, or like high tier rolls, like stats for all Volt Shot Pulse Rifle, triple tap Headstone Hand Cannon, like just given out for free. But much like Act 1, I'm going to keep it short. It was short. I will grind out my tonics. I will enjoy some Onslaught. I will do some Stasis build crafting. I will enjoy the new dungeon. And then I will wait to see what is in store for Act 2. So far, it do be looking like some more Destiny. And that's basically what I was expecting. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time.